Good morning. I want to thank everyone who has joined us. Certainly want to start by thanking our Secretary of State here in California, Alex Padilla. I want to also acknowledge Laura Fair, who is a Deputy Attorney General at the Department of Justice. I'm going to turn the speaking role over to Secretary Padilla momentarily, and Deputy Attorney General Fair will be available in the event that there are some detailed questions that it's probably best for her to answer. Let's begin today by mentioning that some 4 days ago, Secretary Padilla and I issued a cease and desist letter to the state Republican Party and to certain of its county affiliates after getting information and reports of activity with regard to voter and ballot drop boxes. And as a result of the information that we received, the letter was issued. Since then, there have been further reports of activities, and there has also been communication with the California State Republican Party through its attorneys. It's important to start by saying that for California, certainly for the Secretary of State and the Attorney General, but for all of us, the integrity and confidence in the vote here in California is paramount. We want to make sure that everyone believes that their vote will count, that there won't be any issues with tampering with that vote, and that they can feel confident that if they participate, they can make a difference. It's important to also note that tampering with ballots is not just illegal, it's irresponsible. And anyone who participates in any activities that are illegal with regard to ballots and voting should understand what they're undertaking. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. If you believe that what you are doing is on the wrong side of the law, please be very careful. What you don't want to do is be caught up in a situation where you participated in an illegal activity where someone's vote may have been tampered with or made unable to participate or count in the vote. So let me conclude by saying this as I turn it over to the Secretary of State. We believe it's important between now and Election Day to continue our efforts to secure the vote. We want to make sure that everyone agrees that their vote is safeguarded. We want to make sure that everyone understands that their vote is critical, and we want everyone to do everything possible to participate in helping Californians vote legally. And so we don't want to discourage anyone who's out there doing things the right way to get our fellow Californians to vote. We encourage that and want to have as many people vote as possible. But it's important that if you see something, we hope you'll say something. You'll let us know, you'll report it, so we can then investigate and determine if the conduct that's occurring is legal or not. At the end of the day, November 3rd, we want every Californian who desires to vote and to count. With that, let me now turn it over to Secretary of State Alex Padilla.
Thank you, Attorney General Becerra. Appreciate the partnership and your tremendous work and that of your team. As you reminded everybody, just several days ago, you and I jointly announced a cease and desist letter that was addressed to the California Republican Party based on the developments that were brought to our attention over the course of last weekend. And despite their rhetoric in the press, what we know the Republican Party has agreed to do is to no longer deploy these unstaffed, unsecured, unofficial, and unauthorized ballot drop boxes. The Republican Party's deployment of these unofficial and deceptive ballot drop boxes were in violation of state law, and they created voter confusion. And it also consumed, frankly, the precious time of state and local elections officials that are working around the clock to ensure that we maintain our free and fair elections during this COVID-19 pandemic. And the Republican Party has tried to spin their unlawful conduct by playing the victim all week long. The real victim here is the voters who may have been misled by Republican Party ballot collection efforts, misrepresented as official, when there are multiple safe and convenient ways for voters to return their mail-in ballots. I want to be clear. The California Republican Party can conduct ballot collection activities, but they have to play by the rules and follow state law. And that's what the ongoing legal action seeks to ensure. State requirements for ballot collection is about ensuring transparency, integrity, and protecting the rights of voters. We will be working with the Department of Justice and local officials to continue to monitor election activity across the state of California. And if there's any indication that state law is being violated, we will not hesitate to act on it immediately. And I want to take a moment to address California voters directly. Voters of California, you have the power to decide when and how you vote. You have ultimate control over your ballot. And you have multiple options to be able to return your ballot in a way that's secure and safe during this pandemic. You can mail your ballot back in the official envelope that's been provided that comes with return postage that's prepaid. You have the option of delivering your ballot to any official secure ballot drop box. And to find the listing of official box locations, you can contact your county elections office, review the voting materials that you have received by the mail, or go to the California Secretary of State's website at vote.ca.gov. You also have the option of returning your ballot in person at any in-person voting location on or before Election Day in the areas that are offering in-person early voting. And yes, if you need or prefer assistance in returning your ballot, you have the power to decide who you trust to assist you in the return of your ballot. But that individual must also make themselves known by adding their name and signature and relationship to the vote by mail return envelope. So I want voters to be clear. It's your choice to make, but make sure it's an informed choice and don't be misled. Elections officials have been working hard for months to provide you multiple safe opportunities for voting during this COVID-19 pandemic. And I also urge voters to sign up to track their ballot at vote.ca.gov, clicking on Where's My Ballot to receive those automatic notifications on the status of their ballot, including confirmation when their ballot's been received by their county elections office and when it's been counted. And for any other questions about voting or the elections, go to the official trusted source, your county elections office, or the Secretary of State. Once again, at vote.ca.gov. Thank you, Attorney General Becerra. I'll turn it back over to you.
Secretary Padilla, thank you very much. Let me mention one last thing, and then we'll go to questions. We continue to follow up on these discussions with the Republican Party here in California, and any reports that we get about activities that may not be in conformance with our laws, our election laws. We have issued some subpoenas to the state Republican Party, and so our investigation is ongoing. With that, let me go ahead and open it up to questions.